Good morning, all. Glad you're here. Good evening. Welcome, people of the future, people of the past. So let's begin as we connect to breath, feeling skull bones align over sit bones. Feel the hands soften and the brow area, the forehead, just above the bridge of the nose. If you're working with your eyes open still, then what you can do in lieu of resting, relaxing the eyelids is feel your vision softly broaden. There's a very direct correlation between our emotional states and the range of our visual field. This is a subtle twofold move. We'll be focusing inwardly, but we'll be relaxing our eyes as we focus. Okay. When we focus, very often I'll observe some degree of contraction around the forehead or the eye, as if to focus in a myopic way. Rather than myopic, keep that really soft, broad vision, and focus just becomes, where does my feeling awareness perch? Where does it land? What am I noticing most prominently in my body? Okay. So let's go right hand. Use the right thumb, close right nostril. Inhale through the left nostril. When you feel most easily full, just switch the fingers. Put the ring finger down on the left nostril, open the right, and exhale for about a 10 count. Exhaling for about a 10 count. And it might not last 10 at first. And then inhaling through the right. And switching, exhaling out the left for 10 counts. So thus far, we're just roughly counting the exhale. Okay, we'll continue because you might be going at a slightly different pace than I'm setting us on. As you're focusing internally, or whatever's most prominent in your senses, keep eyes and the eye area soft. Doesn't matter if you're working eyes open or eyes closed. When we're working eyes closed, you'll be able to note the motion of the eye. It might dart up and down, back and forth. But as we become sensorially aware of the eye, then resting the eye might be a possibility. If you're working with the eyes open, this is where a very soft focal point comes in handy. Some of you may have like a beautiful flower or plant. This is part of the construction of altars. It gives the eye a place to find visual refuge. And in these last few rounds, we'll now count the inhale. 10 count in, 10 count out. So we switch the nostrils between the inhale and the exhale. The images the images that we set before us, the imagery that we absorb, the pictures that we remember or create in our mind's eye, the softness or the hardness of our visual apparatus, whether that's our visionary apparatus or our organ vision apparatus. These are all flavoring our worldview. We'll complete the round that we're on. Good. And let's straighten the left leg out in front, bend the right knee. So I have my right sit bone on the ground, so you'll have to decide how much to bend the right knee, how close to place that right foot. If you pull it so close that you're just rounding your back, you might consider just stepping it out, so you could, in theory, sit taller. Inhale, reach the right arm up, moving into a Mariotchasana or a fold. Exhale, as we fold, reach the right arm to the inside of the right leg. And then here you might just brace the arm against the right shin. You might wrap or encircle around the shin, grabbing thigh or left hand. But either way, that right arm makes contact with the right shin, and that's sufficient to get us going. So whatever that right arm contact, inhale, press that right arm back into the leg so that right shoulder glides away from the neck. And then exhaling, using those low belly muscles, we'll start to move into the fold. Okay, so we're going to refocus slightly to the very top of the rib cage. Inhale, can you feel the topmost ribs? Can you feel if they're moving in a direction? Are they moving forward or are they moving sideways? Are they moving back toward the back of your mat? And release. When you come up right, cross this right ankle either over the thigh, and that may not be agreeable for all knees as half lotus. So the other option is right knee bent on the ground. Perfect. Take the right hand, reach it out to your right. Turn the thumb slightly down. So your right palm faces toward the right wall. Inhaling again into the right collar, rib cage. In fact, these ribs are less of a cage and more of a necklace, ringlet, an encirclement. And then exhale, send the palm out. Now, as you move the hand forward, you may notice you feel more the back side of the head, neck, and upper trapezius. As you draw that palm backward, you may feel more of the chest and the collar side. So you have to decide where you wouldn't mind focusing for just a few more breaths. Wherever you're focusing and feeling now, can you draw breath into that area? Can you feel your breath contact? So it's not just a visual focus, but there's some viscerality, there's a sense of one's body as we focus. Okay. Now take that right hand, reach across, grab any of the outer left leg. Some of you will grab the foot, some the calf. Inhaling again, chest bones forward. And exhaling, soften the bridge of the nose, the eyebrow area, the hairline. If your elbow is bent, that would be if your right elbow is bent, you can reach that right elbow forward. And that will just provide a little different shoulder sensation. And release. Inhale, we'll come upright. We'll switch sides. So straighten the right leg. Left knee bent. Marichyasana. Inhale, the left arm up. And exhale, reach forward. And this left arm can just contact or wholly encircle that left leg. Now feeling expressly through the ribs and the shoulders. As I inhale, that left arm may press against the shin and feel which way the ribs move. That would be very clear. Feel the ribs. They're moving in a way that's not the chin. The people will move their nose and their chin forward, but I'm saying focus through the ribs so you can feel around the lung and the heart. And softening the lips, the jaw muscles. Yeah. Do you feel those topmost ribs lengthening away from the pelvis? Do you feel them kind of sinking or recoiling toward the pelvis? Do they expand? Do some of the ribs expand and then some have little to no movement? What's your perception? So these are your ribs. It's good to know what our ribs are doing. All up in here. And feel these ribs going forward as you exhale also. And when we release, that left foot can be placed in half lotus or simply bent and placed on the ground. Take that left arm, reach to your left. Turn the thumb down, so we're rotating that arm bone in the socket. Inhaling into left side, ribs, collar, and you decide if you go forward with the hand, you'll feel certain structures in your neck and your head, probably on the back of the body. If you push that palm behind you, you'll feel more the chest and the front of the shoulder. Select an area that you're willing to feel for 3 breaths or so. And start to thread your breath into that area. So just like we have visual focus, we have bodily focus. Soften the eyes as you focus into the left collar area. One final fold here. Take that left hand, reach for the outer edge of the right foot or any area on the outside of the right leg. Whatever you can reach. I like to reach so I have a little bend, a little reserve of bend in my left elbow, and then I send the elbow forward. So I get that a little extra stretched underneath that left armpit, left side lung, heart. Now feel as your ribs expand, you can start to attune and get a sense of your lungs moving. Nestled in between those lungs like a ball socket joint is your heart. And if you start to focus in on these tissues and these areas and these sensations, you can start to get a sense of how if the lungs and the heart glide in and around one another. How does that feel if the heart rotates inside the lungs? Yeah, someone got that right away. It's really soft in whomever's shoulder. Good. Release. When we walk up, we'll set up for dolphin. So, move to elbows and knees. And we'll set up the hands. They can either be clasped or forearms down on the ground. And when the neck feels somewhat relaxed, you might take a breath or 3. Exhale the knees off the ground. Now, as we maintain this kind of slight inversion, we're in a sense, we're tipping our organs toward the lungs, and there might be some pressures that start to build up around the lung and shoulder area. So our connection to breath will be really helpful. Even if it feels heavy through the shoulders, remain connected to your breath. It's really important. The top of the lung, that upper respiratory, that top of lung, these are massive and major lymph areas. Venous return and removal of stuff that we don't need. So we're going to get some fluids. We're going to get some blood, some fluids moving in and toward this area. So our breath is really important. To help us remain focused in this area, I ask you to consider and sense, do your lungs glide around your heart? Can you feel if your heart glides inside of its lung socket? What's the relationship between the lungs and the heart? What's that living, moving relationship like? Now, my level 2 folks, if you're feeling strong today, we'll take one leg up at a time, 4 breaths each. If you're not feeling that, we'll just keep both feet down for another 8 breaths. Your choice. The leg reach is a little bit of a trick, in the sense that even as you're moving your leg, your foot away from your trunk, can you still remain focused or in feeling with the heart and the lungs, the top of the ribs? Yeah, that's it, Marissa. That's it. That's it. And those of you who are working leg up, you might be about halfway through, so do you squeeze your lungs? Do you squeeze your heart? Or is there softness in there? Is there lightness? Yeah, we'll set the knees down when you're through. And let's stand. And do some abdominal stuff from standing, from bridge. Get it all in. So I want you to take your comfortable horse. So what's comfort? Well, it's deep enough so that I can at least begin to sense the pelvic floor and the genitals. Right? If I'm kind of way up here, I may not feel that. If I'm too deep in, I might be holding on real tight. Okay. So let's go hands to thighs. Just for a little extra traction. And we'll be working rounds of Uddiyana. Inhale, feeling pelvis, genitals, low back. And exhale swiftly everything out. Stay empty. Draw the belly in, back, and up. I like to move my chin down so I don't feel that as pulling on the throat. And you just soften the belly whenever you need to take some breath. I think it's important to not push into this stretch too much. Like a little stretch might be nice. Remember, these tissues move a little bit like cobwebs. So you don't want to just blast through this cobweb and this tubule structure. Okay, so when we're ready for another round, here we go. And just exhale everything out. Remain empty. And it's Uddiyana, so it's just one draw in. You're drawing from the perineum, the genitals, anus, drawing up through the gonads, the intestines. Maybe even start to flare the ribs. And soften belly. Let's straighten legs. Turn the toes to point same direction. So we have a symmetric stance, flank stretch. Folding, reach the left hand across, grab the outer edge of the right ankle or calf. And once again, I have that bend in my left elbow. Engage the feet, the legs, until your quads, those thigh muscles above your kneecaps, light up. What happens when those quads contract is the kneecap lifts up a little bit. So contract there. There it is. And the other one too. Hold that. So it's not locking the knees, I'm not pushing the kneecap back. I'm engaging the quadricep. My kneecap actually lifts toward my hip a little bit. And if you've had some knee injuries or surgeries, that may be really challenging to hold that contraction. It's worth it. Inhaling into the left side of ribs, holding those quadricep contractions. And then exhaling as you reach the left elbow toward the ground, the left ribs may arc a little bit left. And release. As we're walking the hands over, you can wriggle those quadriceps free for a moment. But they're getting back into it, so not too much rest, quads. Right hand, grab the outer left ankle. So again, the quadriceps contract. And it's okay if it feels a little flaky due to scar tissue or injury, that's fine. Just, it's like focus. It's like any kind of concentration practice. We may get some blips and some sparks of activity at first, some intermittent. And then gradually the contraction lasts a little bit longer. It lasts a little bit longer. When you bend that a little bit, you get that all through the, good, contract. You may want to lift your toes up to contract. Yep, contract, contract. So if it doesn't straighten, just bring the hand up a little higher. There you go. And when we release, we'll walk the hands centrally, heel toe the feet together to standing. Okay. So we're going upside down. I hope that's agreeable. Forearm balance. So either you're kicking up toward the wall on your forearms, or we're working emergence. Let me remind us what that is so you can see it. Now, what's really cool about humans and vision, and one of the cool things, is that when we see people move, our brain starts firing neuronally like we're doing that move. So it's one of those cool things, like we're always in this kind of measure and relation visually with other people and movements. So for better or for worse, let me remind us emergence. I go forearms down, the knees up, and then the feet up. Okay. This may be adequate for all your upside down needs, or you take the ankle and cross it across the thigh. And I use the leg very strongly. I press up, sit bones go up. The whole trunk lengthens. So plan on 4 breaths per side or 8 breaths total. If you need me, I'm here for you. Just holler out. So forearm balance or emergence. Dolphin on the wall, ankle to thigh. There it is. Yep, take your time. There you go. Now push that right ankle against the left thigh. Push. Yep, push until you feel, yeah, the sit bones will start to lift up. Now I know there's a lot of weight going through the lungs and the shoulders. Connect to breath. This is part of that, the exit of the stuff we don't need. It's okay that we go upside down in installments. It's really valuable to be able to at least get those lungs tipped upside down to some degree and to breathe. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so as you press that ankle into the thigh, the hips go up. Yep, good. Good. I'm just staying with the breath. Good. Press through the forearms. Yes, yes, yes. Yeah. There's your weight back. It comes on quick. And it appears we're in the final stages of upside downing, which is fine. Wonderful. Cool. Let's stand at the top of our mat. Chair pose. Inhale, bend knees, reach arms up. And as the arms lift, chest lifts. It's very slightly shifting tailbone down. Exhale, fold forward. Softening through eyes and the base of the neck. Monkey, inhale, collar away from lap. So you can place the hands on the legs. Set the hands down. Exhale, we'll step back, lowering all the way down. Set the hands forward for cobra and reach shins straight back. Inhale, feel ribs lengthening forward. So I can press a little bit with those hands to elevate. Exhale, lower, downward dog. Reset hands, press back. Let's give this a few extra breath moments. If you're willing, you start to bend the elbows and send the elbow in the direction right beneath your shoulder. This is turbo dog, but again, I'm reaching that elbow under the shoulder. Not plunking it on the ground, but there's a reach that may shift the shoulder blades a little bit. Connect to breath. I know there's a lot of blood going on in those arms. Deep breath. Our waist removal depends on it. Good. Inhale, step the left foot forward. Warrior two. Reaching arms out to the side, turning the palms up. And we'll go through a little brief rotation here. Exhale, I turn the thumbs down. And you can go chin down if it feels all right in the neck. Do a couple more. So inhale, and turn the palms up. My thumbs point back. As I reach out through the arms, I can, giving my lungs and heart some more room. Exhale, turn the thumbs down. Good. Inhale is the up move. And then exhaling will be the down move. And then as you inhale, coming up, interlace the hands behind your back. And exhaling, reach softly down with the knuckles. So bending the left knee. We're in a deep stance. Deep warrior stance. Softening lips. So as we get into these poses gradually, there's some more efforts, more requirements, more tailoring. As we keep going deeper and deeper into these poses, check out if your vision is narrowing or expanding. Feel if your lips are pursing or softening. I had a wonderful coach who, before he got involved in any sport or activity or extracurricular, he always asked the question, does this spiral me out? Does this expand my horizons, or does it compress and narrow my circle of acquaintances? Right. So within his body of people, right, either get more niche and more focused and more exclusive. We can feel ourselves growing more expansive and softer and more inclusive. Release, reverse warrior. Inhale, go right hand to right leg, raise the left arm. And exhaling, we can side bend to the right. Energetically, we can condense around where it feels warm, or we can expand. So we can feel what we're doing even within our own body. Are we condensing down, growing more myopic, focusing harder and smaller, or are we focusing in a way that allows the energy to move, to spread, to circulate? There you go. Yeah, bending that left knee as a press. That left hip can float around that ball joint. That socket can float around that ball. Yes, yes, yes. Good. Inhale. Take that left arm up over. Let's switch to the other side. Hands to ground. Exhale. Step left foot back. Lower all the way down. Inhale, cobra, reach those legs back. One of those might be a little warmer than the other. Exhale, lower, downward dog. Remain in downward dog in these next 2 breaths. Would it be possible to exhale using low belly muscles? Drawing those belly muscles like soft taffy in and back and up. So the ribs softly draw down away from the armpits. Let's do this other side. Inhale the right foot forward. Warrior 2. We reach the arms out to the side. Let's go palms up. And then exhale, we go palms down. Well, that was brief. Yes, we'll do it twice more. Inhale, go palms up. Turning this arm ball in the shoulder blade socket. All of these ball and socket places in the body seem so important, like real hot spot perceptual areas. And it's not that surprising, because where we have a ball and a socket, there's a lot of perception in those areas. I'm going to have you just raise the yep. Yep. Keep lift. Keep up. There. That'll be a good one. Good. Yes, whatever that little shift was in your foot that put weight in the whole foot, that's kind of cool. You can bend. Sweet. Interlace the hands behind back for chest opener. Inhaling, Which direction do the top ribs move? Exhaling as you press with the legs. Is there lightness in the gut, or did we kind of sink into the hips? So there's such value in just feeling, what do I do in my body? What are my responses in my body to my emotions, thoughts, and feelings? Good. Let's do that reverse warrior. So letting go, the hands go, inhale, arms out. And exhale, left hand to left leg, right arm reach up. And as the arm reaches, you feel this right half of the pelvis. Maybe there's a floating relationship around that ball joint. Maybe there's a more pinch or a grind relationship. Maybe there's a spatial relationship or a... What do you feel in your body? Because we all have different sensitivities and different... Good. And as you bend that right knee, bend. You might want to shorten your stance. Turn the left toes actually right at your cup. Yeah. Good. Slightly, just very slightly shift tailbone down. Down. Yeah, like between your feet. Bring the back toward me. Tailbone down. Deep breath. And when we inhale the right arm up and over, we'll set the hands down. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog or cobra, your love. And exhale, downward dog. Then complete the sun. Inhale, step or lightly jump, both feet forward, monkey. And exhale, fold. Softening around the eyebrow. Bend knees for chair. Inhale. Reach the arms up. Keep lifting the chest away from the lap. Stand. Exhale, hands to heart. When we have a seat, I'm going to talk us through bridge, working one leg up with a strap. So I'm making, oops, I see I'm unclear. It's the fault of too much sun. So I have a loop that I will place around one of my ankles in bridge. We're having a little technical thing here. So we'll set up bridge. You're welcome to use the strap around your ankle, grabbing it with your hands to create a chest opening move. I'll be taking one leg up at a time, so if that's not coming through clearly to you in words or vision, we'll work bridge, strap around ankles, hands grab, chest opener. Let's find out what we can do together. All right, so I'm going to begin with the strap around my right ankle. Set the feet up for bridge, hip width apart. And moving on, exhale, we'll come up. The tailbone lifts, the buttock lifts, and we enter bridge. So at this point, this may be all that you want to do is bridge, reaching the hands underneath your trunk, finding the strap and grabbing it. This gives you some counter so that you can lift your chest. So there's some arch. There's a little bit of arch, a little bit of lift. Grab the strap loop with both hands. Just hook your hands in the loop. Yep. So if I hook like a C hook, my fingers in the loop, I don't have to grasp it as aggressively. And that feels better to my hands. There you go. Now you have the option of lifting the other foot toward the sky. There you go. That's it, Marissa. And keep lifting chest toward chin, vibrantly pressing down through that loop foot. There you go. Nice. Nice. Now, as we're setting that left foot down, I try to get clever and set that left foot inside the loop and step the right foot out of the loop. Some days I'm clever, some days. All right, so we've got the loop with our hands. And if you're wanting, we'll draw the right leg up. There's a tendency to kind of drop the back of the heart toward the ground here. With your deep breath, keep lifting, growing the chest toward the chin. Keep pressing vibrantly that left foot down. And I'll work as if that right leg is picking me up. Yeah, it's actually picking my bridge up. Relax lips, jaw, face, brow. And you can set the right foot down any old place. Stay in bridge, release the hands. Remain in bridge, connect to breath. And just give yourself a chance to go through the lips, the jaw, the eyes. And begin our descent out of bridge. Once you've lowered your spine and your buttock all the way down, decide if you need that final bit of release. Some people, when they come out of bridge, they like kind of hugging the legs toward the chest, just as a little further relief moment. And then we'll set the feet down for Shavasana. Now you can take Shavasana with knees bent. You can take Shavasana with your legs up the wall. That does affect some of that fluid movement from the legs and into that Venus return into the center of the body and toward the heart and toward the lungs. The body and all of its intelligence. It's a lot of parallel functionings. The intelligence of our anatomy seems to mirror spiritual intelligence in that we're often bottlenecked by how we can kind of move along the backlog of life. We can generally only process as much as we can eliminate, free up. Unburdening the body seems to have a strong correlation to unburdening our mind, our soul, our spirit, our life, our relations. So in these final moments, consider and feel, where is there an iota of lightness that you can experience in your body? And when you're ready, bend knees. Turn to a side. Use hands. Press to seated. A clear, beautiful full moon. His last night, morning, this bright, beautiful sun. What a gift. Namaste.